866-775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We want to chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. Then let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today National Day of the Gong. It doesn't sound like the Gong from the Gong Show. How many people remember the Gong Show? I mean, that might predate some of our listeners, the Gong Show. Chuck Burris, if you remember. This one might cause a little bit of a problem. Go skateboarding day. Yeah, for me, that isn't going to work too well. Combination of two bad knees, lots of overweight, and a bald head for an old guy. It doesn't add up to going skateboarding. Daylight Appreciation Day. After spending a few days out in the Coachella Valley, nighttime. Yeah, it's about the only time you get a little bit of a break, right? I mean, those of you listening out in the Coachella Valley, 120 over the weekend. You're looking for a little bit of cool weather. Is this June or is this August? I just wonder. Some people will get this one, National Selfie Day. I don't know about that one because not too many people want a picture of me. But we can go with the favorite, having beaten anorexia, as you know. I always look for something that might be exciting from a food standpoint. Well, we can go with National Peaches and Cream Day. I am looking forward to tomorrow. I'll just tell you, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to tune in to Ron Siegel Radio, and I will tell you why I would be looking forward to that. Hey, how about those markets right now? Got a little bit of a scare on Friday from a former Fed chair, a former Fed voting individual. Market drops 500 points when they talk about maybe increasing interest rates. Now, I will share with you that I did go to Chapman College. Now it's called Chapman University. And I did go online. One of the last ones, hopefully, that's online. The Chapman Forecast Update, Chapman Economic Forecast Update was last week on Wednesday afternoon. So I'm going to give you some highlights from that. But I'm going to tell you right now, inflation is not our friend. And when we talked about the concept of the Federal Reserve saying, or one of the past members of the Fed saying that they should think about increasing interest rates, which they've already done, but nobody knows about it. Right, here's the issue. The market drops 500 points just because they say that they might take away a little bit of the happy juice. Now, we've been in this quantitative easing for quite a while, QE forever, I might call it. And how are they doing that? Well, they keep interest rates down there at next to zero. That's the discount rate. They're keeping it almost nothing. And then they start buying back 10-year treasuries. They buy back mortgage-backed, or they're buying mortgage-backed securities. They were buying corporate bonds. And here's where the trickery comes from the Federal Reserve. They like to try and keep things where we don't exactly know what they're doing. They were pretty transparent for a little while, but they decided, we're going to get rid of this transparency. They were telling us at one point in time, you got to love that, just a little gargly in there. They were telling us at one point in time that maybe we're buying $40 billion a month. We look at the numbers and it says $5 billion a day. Okay, Chapman came out and said, well, it's about $120 billion a month is what they're doing. But the Federal Reserve then decides, okay, well, we're not going to tell you what we're doing. We're just going to say at least $40 billion a month. Okay, we got it. Which I think that may be a good idea with the way this market is reacting, because now today we're up 500 points. Down 500 on Friday, up 500 today. Oh, this is not for the weak at heart. This is not for the weak at heart. Right? We watched what the interest rates are doing, the 10-year Treasury. Today it's up almost 5 basis points. You look at what it's been doing. I mean, it's very difficult for people to look at these things that are living off of a fixed income. And it can be very difficult to live off of fixed income and start seeing what's going on like this. Friday, we were up a little. Now we're looking at down. Now we're back at 1.5 almost on the yield on the 10-year Treasury. So what do we do? How do we plan for our futures? That's our seniors, right? You and I, if we're not seniors, I am not. But if you're not a senior, you're saying, okay, well, something, these interest rates, they go up, they go down. What's the big deal? Seniors, they're living off of a fixed income. So when interest rates go up, you have to be careful. You look at the 10-year Treasury right now, it's up 3 basis points. Okay, it doesn't sound like much, but when you're living on that fixed income, it can be a little bit of a challenge. We went down to about 1.45. Now we're at about 1.48 is the yield. If we can break that 1.45, that'll be good for mortgage bonds. So we're watching that very, very closely to see what happens. But if the Federal Reserve comes out and they make a comment that they might increase the interest rates, or they stop with all of the happy juice that they've been giving out, what's going to happen then? Well, I'm going to tell you. That's why you listen to Ron Siegel Radio, because I'm giving you a report right here that we chat about. It's just one of those really good things that I get from our friends over at Chapman University. What is the effect of inflation on the stock market? Right, so that's a big, big issue. Short-term volatility, long-term staying in the market. So it was for quite a while, up and through December 2020. Chapman was saying, hey, fully invested. Be in that market. Be there and take advantage of the market. Well, they're changing their tune right now. Why? Well, they don't come up with these things haphazardly. They do a great job of looking at history and see what happens when interest rates or when inflation spikes. And what does that do to the S&P 500? Well, when inflation spikes, the S&P 500 tends to drop. They showed a chart from 1965. They showed a chart in 1987. They showed a chart in 1984. They showed the chart of 2007. All of them had the same thing in common. When inflation goes up, the stock market, the S&P 5, as measured by, not the Dow, as measured by the S&P 500, drops. 2007, it dropped 48%. Whoa. Ow! Yeah, take a look at that one, right? So it went from 1,500 to 800. So the market does affect it. So what do? Diversify. We've talked about that before. It is time to diversify currencies, commodities, real estate, REITs, emerging markets, U.S. Treasuries, U.S. high-yield corporate bonds, emerging market bonds. These are all diversification. Now, what happens to your return when you diversify? Well, thank goodness Chapman gave us that information too, right? So if you're 100% in equities, yeah, they're looking at about an 8.8% return. Okay, but what happens when you go down to 30% equity, 20% equities, and 80% diversification? Well, you'll lose about 1% in your return on investment. but you save about 30%, 25% in your risk. Think about that. That's where the big issue is. Your risk diminishes immensely. Now, that's a big issue because many people look at it and say, you know something? The risk is where I'm concerned. Well, you accept that risk when you can, right? It's like if you know that you've got a 10-run lead in baseball, you might swing for the fences. The pitcher might be throwing more balls down the middle because all they care about is outs, right? Same concept in the markets and in your investing. When you've got the Federal Reserve on your side, they're pumping all kinds of money into the market. You've got all these things going for you that's all pushing stocks where you almost, not quite, but almost can't lose. Well, that's when you push the pedal to the metal. Once it gets flipped the other way, then you start saying, well, I better watch out a little bit. I might start taking things and wondering, which way should I go? It might not be such a wise idea to keep on going pedal to the metal. That might be something that we ought to look at and say, you know something, is there a better way? Is there a safer way? And diversification, we talked with Blake Vartanian last week. If you missed it, shame on you, but you missed a lot. Right? We were talking about a way of diversifying, hedging inflation. Right, so go back and listen to that replay. It's on RonSiegelRadio.com, RonSiegelRadio.com, and you can get either the audio or the video right there. But the idea right now is get yourself diversified. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a great broadcast lined up for you. We've got a better outcome segment that we will bring to you today. We will also talk about, 5 things home buyers need to know when making an offer. Common mistakes made during divorce. We'll see all that and more. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Building your future wealth starts now. Take action and put your money to work for you instead of working for your money. Are you sitting on $100,000 of home equity? Realty Pro 100 has your solution. Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder Program may increase your net worth by $50,000 to $75,000 or more per year. Learn more about the Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder Program by texting My Wealth Builder to 79564. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. License DRE 020590058.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Trimming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestateradio.com and click the free workshop button.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by MySoCalLender.com. Hey, if you're thinking about anything finance related, MySoCalLender.com, they can help you out. That's a great team, not just because I lead the team. It's because they do a great job for folks all over Southern California. Let's talk about some financial blunders that self-defeat us. Financial blunders that self-defeat us. That is our subject today. And it's kind of a workshop that we go through. And we talk about this on a regular basis because I am honored to be a national speaker with the Society for Financial Awareness. And it is a very, very interesting organization, Society for Financial Awareness, 501c3 organization with the mission of ending financial illiteracy across America, one community at a time. Today, we're talking about getting fiscally fit. So let's dig right in. It usually begins with we put off creating a written financial plan. It's a behavior thing. Why? Well, we love to procrastinate. I'm busy. Stay busy. I'm spending money. Our credit. We're doing all of these things. Are we really being financially wise? I'm going to suggest to you, maybe not. We need to get our financial house in order. We should never ignore the basics. That's what keeps us on track. Monthly budget to priorities, putting off inspecting our protection. When was the last time you checked on your insurance? When did you go through all of your different insurances? Auto insurance, home insurance, health insurance, life insurance, right? Have things changed? If things have not changed, okay, maybe you don't need to worry about it. But many times, things in our life change. We have a baby. We have kids go to college. They move out. They get married. We have grandkids. Whatever. The whole idea is check your insurances. Retirement. Right? How much time do you have? How much money do you have put away for your retirement? Are you on the Social Security retirement plan, or do you have one where you don't have to eat cat food? I just threw it out there. You're investing. I talked about that in the last segment. Do you have a good financial advisor? Who is it that's telling you what I just got through telling you to reduce your exposure to the S&P 500? Who's telling you that? Who's telling you that over history, not just because it sounds good? Who's telling you that because history is saying that you should do that it makes good financial sense? If you don't have somebody looking at these things for you, give me a call, 800-306-1990. No, I don't sell any financial services, but I can put you in touch with people that do. Taxes. Do you have a plan for taxes, or you just pay them? Right? I like the idea, and I think we've got coming up a visit with our friend Todd Halterman. Going to be talking about disinheriting the IRS. Taxes, you know why the wealthy continue to say we need to raise taxes? Because they know they don't pay them. Right? How many times have we heard the same thing by the same politicians that, something, we need to raise taxes on the rich. And it trickles down. Right? One of them that they're talking about right now, I don't think it's going to happen, but they're talking about adding to the gas tax. Do you think that bothers the rich? No. They went and bought a Tesla last week or the week before, right? Even though there may not be any power in California to charge the thing, but they went and bought it anyway, so it sounds good. Maybe they even have a generator in their backyard. So they go and they buy gasoline, pour it in the generator to charge the Tesla so that the Tesla is on an electric vehicle. Think about these things. So they don't really have to worry about it. They always talk about raising taxes on the rich, and then they find the loopholes so they don't have to pay them. Estate planning, right? 95% of Americans die without a trust. 95%. Think about that part as well, right? It doesn't make sense. We want to get it to where, think about 5% are going to go through probate. That means the government gets most of your money or a lot of your money, right? But yet, because you haven't made a plan. Let's set that plan up. Now, do you have kids? Are they minors? If you and your spouse are unfortunately killed, who's the legal guardian? Do you wish to decide this, or do you want the state to make the decision? Right? That's why you need a will. That's why you need a trust. That's why you need these directives. We've had Laura Meyer on our broadcast many, many times talking about making sure you set up a plan for your kids. Why does she say that? Well, she's got a bunch of kids of her own. She knows about these things. Do you own a home? Do you have assets and a family? Not owning a living trust to avoid unnecessary probate. We've talked about that before. Right? Probate takes a long time, and it's public. A trust that's private happens much quicker, doesn't cost nearly as much money, and you get to make the decisions. Again, do you want to make the decisions, or do you want the state to make the decisions? Do we know why we don't save enough? Pretty simple. We don't pay ourselves first. Do we truly believe that banks and credit card companies care more about us than the money we owe them? I doubt it, right? Think about that. No. Now, the Babylon, The Richest Man in Babylon, I think, was the book that I've touted many, many times on our broadcasts. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, you're seeing a lot of these on the slides right now, but I'm trying to find the name of the book. Now, The Richest Man in Babylon, right, gave a very, very succinct plan for getting out of debt and making sure you have a comfortable retirement. You live on 70% of your income. You pay off your debts with 20% of your income, and you pay yourself first 10% of whatever your income is. That's what's going into your investments, to your retirement program. Right? It's a pretty simple thing. Now, if you've got a lot of debts, I'm going to say talk to your creditors. Work out a plan. Say, hey, you know something? Here's what I have per month. I've got to spread it around to these number of people. Make a plan. That's the whole concept. Do you live for tax refunds? It's our money coming back to us interest-free. Have we figured out yet that to receive a refund comes from not doing tax planning and overpaying into Uncle Sam every paycheck? Question. Could you use more take-home pay? Most people say they could, right? So here's the issue. Talk to your financial planner. Talk to your tax planner. And again, I am not a tax planner. I don't give tax advice. There are professionals for that. Again, I can introduce you to them. But here's the issue. You want to make a plan. If you're getting a big tax, the government does not really want to give you a big tax refund. They don't want you to owe a lot of money either. Their idea is for you to slide right in there, owing or receiving next to nothing. So plan for it. Talk to your tax planner about it. When a financial emergency occurs, why is it we run for our credit cards and not an emergency fund that we set up and funded years back? Just saying. I've been talking to you about that for a long time on Ron Siegel Radio, about having that 6 to 12 month emergency fund so that if you need money, you don't have to sell stock, you don't have to sell bonds, you don't have to go on your credit card. You've got that money sitting there, and we know that so many people, their emergency fund is about as big as their credit card balance. Unbelievable. The great assumption. The stock market's going down. Evidence of bear markets averaging 39.5% every 7 years. There's been 13 recorded so far. Is over. It won't happen to me. Yeah, just doomsday talk. I told you in the last segment about what happens when there's high inflation. And I told you about the inflation numbers recently, didn't I? I mean, I told you about lumber prices up 300%. I don't know if I've still got that photo on my computer. Bacon prices, I think, were 19% was the increase on that date that we had that. Bananas up 2%, bread 7%, coffee 2%, milk 9%, oranges 9%, gasoline 56%, Ow! Electricity 4%. Right, so inflation is on the way, which tells us that when inflation comes, stock market drops. Are you prepared for it? Some people are, some aren't. Do your retirement planning and omitting inflation, that's a problem. Increasing taxes. 2026, our tax cuts sunset. That means they end. And we revert back to higher taxes, even if we do absolutely nothing. Ignoring our spending behavior, that's becoming ingrained in us. And that time will cut back. Any stock market corrections that impact our investments or pension work, be careful of those, right? We got to really watch out. Doing your retirement planning and omitting purchasing insurance, investments, solar panels, a pool, plastic surgery, dental, a car, anything with a contract making you responsible in your actions, yet not reading the contract or ongoing correspondence. We have a real simple solution for that one. That is, we call it ready, fire, aim mentality. I got to get that right. Ready, fire, aim. Credit cards. It's not about using it. It's about three realities. The item you want to is too expensive. It really is a want, not a need. You're purchasing with money you do not have. When that want becomes a need with money we don't have, we use our credit cards while our pile of debts grow. Right, today, for those of you that are listening to us live, Ron Siegel Radio, on any of our socials, ronsiegelradio.tv, or if you're on the ABC News and Talk, either the radio or video feed, Amazon Prime Day. I'm not giving them a free plug, but their goal is to get you to spend more money than you really want to spend or really need to spend, right? It's impulse buying. Why do you think they put those timers on there? We've got a limited time offer, right? Pay cash. Or what I like to do is I put it on a credit card that's a points-based credit card and then send the money to the credit card right away, right? We don't want our credit card debt growing. What we do want is our savings growing. So maybe that's a deferred spending account. Our repetitive behavior of using withdrawal slips versus deposit slips spins us away from its very title. Save money and buy something that you want or need, right? But only once you've got your emergency fund is set, right? You're doing that out of the 70% that I talked about from the Richest Man in Babylon book. So you put aside money that I want to buy a new computer, right? They make it so easy, right? But save up that money and put it aside so that you're able to buy that computer once you've got the cash for it. And you can do that for bigger things too. I had a neighbor that one time, he bought used cars. Now he'd go and buy a BMW, he'd buy an old used one, but he saved up the money for it, paid cash for the old used car. And then when he wanted a nicer car, he saved the money for that because his payments weren't going to a bank and they didn't have any interest. They actually went into his account where he was saving money. Do we have a mirror test facing our reality of who we financially are to our other side? Is that denial? Are we denying who we really are? As long as we continue the same habits, which suck away our hopes and dreams, allowing the darkness of debt to win out, we'll probably never get ahead. It's a choice we make daily. Right? You're making that choice. Every time you go on and you hit buy, or you go into the store and you put out the credit card, you're making a choice. The choice is it's more important for me to have that short-term pleasure than the long-term retirement that maybe you think you want. So 3 key people that you really need to be talking to based on our conversation this morning. Part of your household board of directors. We've talked about that many, many times. The household board of directors. And you need to have this. You need to have the financial advisor. You need to have the accountant or the tax person and an estate planning attorney. It's not that expensive. Think about this. If you have a house anywhere in the sound of my voice, I don't care if it's 200,000, 500,000, $1 million, 2 million, 10 million, probate's going to probably cost you about 5%. So on a $500,000 house, probate is going to cost you about $25,000. I can show you where to get a professional trust done, I don't know, maybe $2,000. These people are going to keep us on track, carry out our wants and priorities, provide us sound advice. So why do we view them as a cost item versus a sound investment? I can't afford that trust. It's going to cost me too much money. I want to go on Scott Trade or one of those others where you do it by yourself. Did they call you today and tell you that inflation's on the way and you better be careful? Maybe you want to diversify? And how about Social Security? Right? It's a simple decision. Do not take it too early. The longer you put it off, the more you get. Obviously, there's some exceptions. Be careful in taking it too soon. It's costing you money. But I spoke to my neighbor and he said, what experience does your neighbor have? He probably looked at his own and started taking his money too early. Right? So he left a lot of money on the table every single month. Throwing that out there for you. Ron, my wife doesn't work. We own our own business. So I take all the money and she doesn't have to worry about, she's not going to get any Social Security. Cat food. Yeah, we need a picture to pop up on the screen of cat food. I mean, that would be perfect, right? What about college planning? These are items you got to really be planning for because they're not cheap. College planning, your retirement. How about a child's wedding? We should just say a daughter's wedding, but you know something? Daughters and sons, you got to pay for both of them. You're going to need a new car eventually. How about your bucket list? While you're working, right? Setting some money aside for those things. Why do we realize these items will appear in our future, yet we open no accounts to fund them? We just figure, no problem, we'll figure it out. You know, college, I mean, Chris Bissonette was on with us. Some colleges are costing $100,000 to $500,000 for a college education for one kid. How many kids do you have? Think about it. In our investing, as we age, we fail to lower our risk profile and expose ourselves to impending costly market correction that could be unrecoverable in our future. Right? As we get older, we want to be more and more risk averse. Get rid of that risk. Right? We don't want that there. So here's the issue. The unspoken assumption. My company and our government will take care of me, so I really have little to concern myself with. That's why I voted for whoever you voted for, I don't care, and work where I do. I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you got a big joke coming up, and it's the answer to the joke. I don't know if it's a joke, but the problem is it's a big problem. It's coming. It's going to be your retirement and a little bit of cat food here and there. So if you want more information on some of these blunders, if you want to resolve the issue, planning, give me a call, 800-306-1990. I'd be happy to put you in touch with people that can help you. And if you remember, if you listened to our broadcast from last week, if you didn't, shame on you. But on our Sunday broadcast, we actually talked about pulling money out of a piece of real estate. We did a demonstration of taking $225,000 out of one piece of real estate and redeploying that, potentially turning it into $6.9 million in a 15-year period. Will it happen every time? No. Could it happen? It's all I used. I didn't use anything far-fetched. I used some very, very historic numbers. What's your plan? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a great broadcast still in store for you. Let's see. I've got a number of things that we're going to talk about. We've got a better outcome section. We're going to talk about some real estate issues and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
What's your plan to beat inflation and protect and build your future wealth? If you're not sure, and if you would like to learn the secret of building wealth by utilizing your current assets with little or no risk, Realty Pro 100 has your solution. Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder Program may increase your net worth by $50,000 to $75,000 or more per year. Learn more about the Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder Program by texting My Wealth Builder to 79564. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. License DRE 02059058.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694452.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Dow Jones Industrial Average now up 488 points, 489 points. NASDAQ is up 103 points. We're looking at the S&P 500 up 49 points. 10-year Treasury up 2, come back just a little bit. Mortgage-backed securities down 17 basis points, which means interest rates are up just a little bit. So let's see, why is all of that happening? Well, it's all about the discussion of interest rates and the Federal Reserve. What are they going to do? That's the whole conversation that's running the country right now as far as our stock market, our bond market, our home loan rates. Well, we saw St. Louis Fed President Bullard. He got the markets going crazy last week after his comments on CNBC regarding tapering and the Fed, when the Fed will need to hike rates. The Fed's going to continue to be in focus this week. Several Fed members speaking, including the New York Fed President John Williams. He's speaking this afternoon. And Fed Chair Powell will be speaking tomorrow. They're going to probably be watching their words very, very closely. On the housing front, existing home sales and new home sales will be released on Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively. Additionally, the Fed's favorite measure of inflation, personal consumption expenditures, PCE, will be released on Friday, where the headline is expected to be above 4% and core 3.5%. Those are some big numbers. Remember, I told you about that. That's what we were talking about when we were going through and looking at some of the commentary that came from Chapman University last week. They had some great conversation about that. And the hidden numbers, again, coming from our friends at Chapman. So the Federal Reserve pays banks based on their reserves. Well, they took it from 10 basis points to 15 basis points. Sounds like not a whole lot. That's a 50% increase, right? So they increased what they're paying 50%. So that means they're giving the banks more of an incentive to hold on to money. When the banks hold on to money, what that's then doing is that's basically saying, okay, we don't want you to lend out money. If they don't lend out money, well, that means there's less supply. If the demand keeps going, well, that means rates going to go. That means the rates are going to go higher, right? Rates are going to go higher. Just like if the Federal Reserve stops buying the corporate bonds, which they did, they're starting to let those roll off their balance sheet. Well, they're not out there buying. That means there's less demand. Less demand. The companies still need money. So if there's less demand for them and the companies are putting bonds out there and the Federal Reserve is selling off theirs, that means there's more supply. Yep, that's another way that the Federal Reserve is tightening up a little bit. Did you hear that in the news anywhere? No, they don't tell you any of that stuff. I just throw that out there for you. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio. That's the Mortgage Minute, as we discuss with you. That's brought to you by Geneva Financial. Just a little bit of information for you from the hidden treasures from Chapman University. I just throw that out there. Let's see, we got a couple of comments here. Ryan Lewis, an investor. Ryan, are you coming to Realty Pro 100 tomorrow to check in with us on the program they have? He's an investor. Alex, he's with us. Glad to see you with us again, Alex. Always appreciate you checking in. And when we come back, we're going to get into a couple of more topics that we have lined up for you. We've got, is an equity buyout a mortgage loan? 5 things home buyers need to know when making an offer. And I think we've got a featured home. I'm not sure. We'll have to check that out. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
If you're listening to this program, building personal wealth is a topic you're familiar with, and you probably understand that making money is about creating a high income from a high-paying job or running a business, while building wealth, on the other hand, is about creating a stock of value that goes up over time. You've also probably noticed lately that prices for fuel, groceries, and raw materials are skyrocketing, while your monthly income remains flat. Welcome to Inflation 101. One of the fastest growing wealth building strategies is utilizing your current assets with little or no risk, like the equity in your home. Realty Pro 100 has been helping people like you increase their net worth by $50,000 to $75,000 per year. Now's the time to put your money to work for you and beat inflation. Learn more and start building your wealth by contacting Realty Pro 100. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. Receive free information on how the Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder program works and if it's the right wealth building strategy for you. License DRE 02059058.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and BCAL-BRE number 018699452.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by myfavouritelender.net, myfavouritelender.net, 518 West Campus View Drive, Riverside, 92507. Single-story ranch-style home located within walking distance of UC Riverside. Inside this 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, maintaining its original charm, including the highly desired original wood plank flooring. The front room offers views of the local foothills, highlighted by a wood-burning fireplace, gas hookup available as well. The home has updated electricity. I don't know what all this means. FAU, AC, windows, and an inside laundry room. Melinda Johnson knows all about it. I don't. Price is $499,000. Who says you can't find an affordable home in Southern California? $499,000, Riverside, California. I wonder how close it is to the school out there, UC Riverside. Let's say there's some financing options, 10% down. Hey, I think you'd probably even do this at 3.5% down on an FHA, but let's look at 10% down. You're looking at $1,924 a month, 20% down, $1,710 a month, and 25% down strategically. You're looking at $1,528 a month. That's principal and interest payments. If there's mortgage insurance, I don't think there's an HOA, escrow, taxes, and liability insurance. You have to add all that to it. But think about that. Oh, yeah, we better do this so we don't get anybody in trouble, upset with us. APR 3.359, APR 3.197, and the APR 2.984, NMLS 217037. That is the featured home, brought to you again by our friend Melinda Johnson, Freedom First Properties. If you want to reach Melinda, give us a call, 800-306-1990. Again, that is the featured home segment brought to you by myfavouritelender.net. Let's see if we can get a better outcome segment in here today. Is an equity buyout at Better Outcomes, brought to you by mycdlp.com, mycdlp.com. Is an equity buyout a mortgage loan? There are a lot of confusion and misunderstanding about equity buyouts during a divorce. Is it a mortgage or is it a process? An equity buyout is a process of acquiring the equity ownership of an existing legal owner of real property. Acquiring the equity ownership in the marital home from an ex-spouse is most commonly done by refinancing the existing mortgage. When a divorce involves refinancing the marital home, divorcing borrowers typically are looking to pull equity out of the home in order to buy out the other spouse's equity ownership. Although the divorce settlement agreement may outline the details of transfer of ownership, it does not determine what type of financing is available for the divorcing borrower. The name equity buyout confuses some people into thinking they have to purchase the home from the other spouse. This is not true. An equity buyout is actually handled as a refinance loan, not a purchase loan. Now, there are two types of refinances we need to consider, because just because the court orders one party to buy out the equity of the other party, that does not dictate the type of refinancing category it would fall under, and each one has its own limitations and requirements to be met. The two primary types of refinances are either a rate and term refinance or a cash out refinance. Rate and term refinances typically have better terms with regards to lower interest rates and access to more equity. A cash out mortgage, on the other hand, may carry a higher interest rate and typically only allows the borrower to access up to 80% of the home's value, which can present a problem when the goal for the refinance is to actually access the equity, right? The divorce settlement agreement needs to be restructured in such a way that the divorcing borrower can refinance as rate and term equity buyout. The loan structure will allow the divorcing borrower to access the equity in the home without the higher pricing adjustment or even the ability to refinance at all. There are specific requirements that divorcing borrower needs to meet, however, in order for the refinance to be structured as rate and term equity buyout. There may be title seasoning issues, specific wording in the divorce settlement agreement, among other issues. In order for an equity buyout to be classified as a rate and term refinance, it must meet the following requirements. The equity buyout must be addressed in the homestead or real estate section of the marital settlement agreement, basically meaning it must be addressed independently. It may not be included in, say, an addendum that identifies all marital assets and the equity distribution absorbed into the total division of the marital estate. Absolutely no cash back is allowed to the borrower for debt consolidation, attorney fees, etc. Literally not one penny can be due to the borrower at closing, even if it is the result of overestimated fees. The borrowing spouse must have been on title for the previous 12 months. This is a key factor. For example, the mortgage and title were held in the husband's name, and the wife was awarded the marital home and needs to refinance the home. Even the court order makes her a successor of interest, which then allows her to refinance the home even if she isn't on the current mortgage. Again, the court cannot dictate which category of refinancing is applicable. If you have more questions about this, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. If you want a copy of the free Divorcing Your Mortgage Workout, mydymworkbook.com, mydymworkbook.com, or you can text mydymworkbook to 79564. Get your copy. That is the Better Outcomes segment today. And how about real-time real estate? We got time for that, I think. Real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. 5 things home buyers need to know when making an offer. When it comes to buying a house, you're looking for the perfect place to call home. The problem is, in today's market, there just aren't that many homes available to purchase. With inventory hovering near record lows and sky-high buyer demand, a multi-offer scenario is the new normal. Here are 5 things to keep in mind when you're ready to make an offer, and all of them are available on our social channels. All you have to do is go to Ron Siegel Radio on Facebook. We've put it there. Go to our LinkedIn site. We've got it all right there as well. Number 1, knowing your numbers. Having a complete understanding of your budget and how much house you can afford is essential. That's why you should connect with a lender to get pre-approved. Hey, yeah, the team at the Siegel Lending Team, yes, they can help you out. MyFavoriteLender.net will help out. Taking the steps shows sellers you're a serious qualified buyer and can give you a competitive edge in a bidding war. Number 2, brace for a fast pace. Today's market is dynamic and fast-paced. According to the Realtors Confidence Index from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, the average home is on the market for just 17 days. Be ready. Number 3, lean on a real estate professional. They've got the knowledge and the expertise. Number 4, make a strong but fair offer. Again, number 5, be a flexible negotiator. Bottom line, when it's time to make an offer, it's important to consider not just what you need, but what the seller may need as well. Let's chat about this. Put you in touch with a great professional to help you with it. And don't forget, you can get your home buyer's guide. All you have to do is text RSR HBG to 79564. Get a copy of your free home buyer's guide. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Lights go out and I can't be saved. Tides that I tried to swim against broke me down upon my knees. Oh, I